happening, everybody, man? This is DJ Most Precious, International Most P, here for all new Hot Zone. In the Hot Zone with the hottest of the hots and the who's of the who's and the who's next here first. So it's a great pleasure today because I'm bringing back a past star. We've talked, I can't fathom how long ago, but it's an honor to be reconnected to him. A lot has changed in the midst of us and our careers and things have happened. So I can't wait for you guys to catch up with BT the artist, B.T the artist, but it's just BT the artist here on the Hot Zone. So right now, everybody, wherever you are, put your phones in your hand. You can't put your phone down because you might be watching it on the phone, but just listen, tune in, tap in, and take this amazing experience that is being presented to you here on the Hot Zone. Everybody make some noise. Welcome, BT, the artist.
Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? It's a
I'm
pleasure to be
great.
here.
I'm great. I'm happy to, be reconnected with you and catch up with you, see what you got popping. I know you got some new singles to bring my way and all
A
this other
lot.
good jazz about what you're doing, about the change and how things are different. But
Mhm.
before we
Get
get into
there.
that, like let's talk about like how has everything been for you since the last time we talked in your
Mhm.
career or in your life?
A lot has happened since the last time we talked. I just signed a deal with Conquer Entertainment, so we're starting to game plan on what songs to push and everything. So it's getting really exciting, and the deal's done. So it's like it's definitely gonna happen. So that's the most exciting thing that's happened since because they're putting a ton of money into promotion and marketing, and that's what independent artists struggle like
Mhm.
this is biggest struggle. Like so I'm so happy right now. And I've written a ton of different songs, change, different party songs, songs with a strong message that just needs to be heard right now. It's just I've been doing a lot and it's so fun. And I'm also about to perform for Live Nation on Wednesday. I'm about to perform in front of Live Nation and AEG Live. So that's also something to be really excited about. And I'm gonna perform Change that day.
Oh my goodness. I'm just so happy because the way you talking about it, you all I see is teeth. Like you're so happy, so grateful about it. The cheese everywhere,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
whoever does your
Thank
dinner
you. So
work,
I'm
give
smiling.
them
I
a
got
check. Whoever does your dinner work, give them a check. No, I'm just playing. But I'm happy to hear the excitement in your, what you got going on. So I can see that the
Mhm.
pandemic has been a good for you. It's giving you time to like really opportunities and timing has been presented to you during this era of
Mhm.
turmoil, as one would call it, as well as upset and stress and all that. So I'm definitely glad that everything's happening for you. Congratulations on the new deal.
Thank
Live
you.
Nation is huge. And the message behind
Yeah.
change is even bigger. So putting that all together, man, kudos. I wish I
Yeah.
clap. I'm clapping. Forget it.
Thank you so much.
Clap, clap, clap. All right. So now we know all that we got caught up. I know there's probably even more the detail to talk about that's been going on, but those are the best moments you want to highlight.
Mhm.
So I'm happy about that. Let's recap. I don't know if anybody know where you are right now in the world, but where are you at and how is the day? Like what it look like outside?
Ooh. Oh, I'm in Boston. Boston is one of those cities where the climate changes like crazy. Like the weather's bipolar. So it was just a snowstorm a day ago, but today it's kind of nice. Like you see me in tie dye. Like it was probably it was nice. I had tie dye and a jacket on. Like it was really nice out there. Still snow all over the ground, but it's still really nice outside. So it's like Boston's really bipolar.
But
So
like St. Louis, you know it.
mhm,
Okay, so now we know that. We know you're in Boston.
mhm,
Boston, cup of
mhm.
tea. I like to like try to recite stuff that I thought is connected to the places that people mention. Sometimes I don't hit. I might throw a brick. But either way, we're here
Bars.
to talk
I heard that.
about you as an artist, you as an educator, you as a person that is an activist and fighting for change. Before we get into
Mhm.
talk about change, your single, let's talk about what inspires you to continue to strive through. for your activeness and also your music? Like, what inspires you to do
hmm It's the true thing that inspires me is that I grew up in a impoverished neighborhood, and I always grew up like the one who was good at sports, the one who could rap, the one who could do everything. So kids always looked up to me. And then when I got into college, I became like a baseball coach, but it was like year round. Like we was training them in the winter. It was like a full job while I was in college. So then I was starting to shape these kids' lives, like giving them advice about different things. So that's what kind of helps me keep the motivational and the positiveness in my music, because I grew up doing it my whole life. And then now when I graduated college, I became a therapist. So I'm with kids even every day after that. And it's just building blocks, and it just shapes my music.
Oh my God, that is so huge.
Thank you.
I recall this story too. And when did you graduate? Didn't you just graduate?
Yeah, I graduated in 2018.
Yeah, exactly.
hmm
Right. So I
Pretty
remember
recent.
talking about that. I remember talking about that in the counselor
hmm
part, and how
hmm
how that plays a real keen part to who you are as a person, your character.
A
To do
huge
something like that, you have to have a strong character. And I'm happy to hear about the motivations and how that plays a part in keeping you going to the bigger, you know?
and what made it.
Yeah. So when you talk about that, from being a baseball coach year round and being a counselor or a therapist, etc., um, let's dive in a little deeper and talk about. Do you remember any moments where you had a challenge being a therapist? Like, you don't have to. It's confidential in a sense, so you don't have to say the people names. But like, is have you taken anything away personally from one or two situations you like to talk about that inspires you within your music as well?
hmm it's literally just every day, because when you're a therapist, every day is different. Like you're trying to teach these children or adults. I like really worked with children, but I had a few adults. But the thing is, every day is different. I'm trying to teach you the same thing, but every day is a different challenge. So today I might be trying to teach you how to, let's say, a whole morning routine by yourself without me doing it. There might be a whole ton of challenges that come today that we can get past, but tomorrow there'll be a whole different rally of challenges. And that's one thing that I take into my music. Like if I'm writing a song and I can't get it, or I need to write so many songs and I'm behind, is like those are all the same challenges. I just got to get through them and keep pushing. And that's one thing it taught me, is just to keep pushing, because eventually I'm gonna be able to have this kid do the whole morning routine by himself. I'll get through the songs if I keep pushing. It's the same thing, and it kind of meshes together. So that's one way that psychology and my therapy job kind of helps me in my life and with my music.
I like that. I'm happy I formed that. That was a good question because there are two worlds in our lives. Like, we
hmm
have artistry live, we have our other life we do outside of artistry. And sometimes it's hard for people to connect them or find that dot that keeps them fueling each other. So I wanted to know that, and I'm happy that that's actually a message I need to take as well. So thank you for pushing, regardless, try to find that connection, and keep fighting for it. So I appreciate that part of the positivity and your whole shine, your whole atmosphere, your whole vibe, energy right now is bright as ever. I was about to cuss, but your whole energy right now
Thank
is
you.
bright, and it's helping me with this smile because of your energy.
I like that.
So we got that part. We got the therapist. We got the sports. We got the fact that you were
hmm
always good at it. People looked up to you. You inspired people. Now we're segueing into your goals. Okay. So did you always want to
hmm
get a deal? Like how was that? Like when you started doing music years ago, did you
hmm
have a hey, I want to sign a deal? Or like did you predict or have an ideal that you were going to be where you are today? Probably a rhetorical question, but I would like to know what your mind was like.
So it's weird. So when I was younger, my whole family does music. Like when we have parties, my uncles will be singing or my cousins will be rapping, and it's just like we've always been doing music. But I was always the athlete. I got a scholarship to college to play sports. I was still doing music with them, but I was mostly focused on sports, because when you get to college, sports is a full-time job. Like
Mhm.
you have time for nothing else. So I had a scholarship, so I was playing and having fun out in the field. But then when I graduated college, I was like, okay, I love music because I do it almost every day with my family. So I think I should take it more seriously. I have a college degree. I have a job with my degree. It's time to start pushing with music and see what I can do with it. And just my whole background with all the positivity and that all just shaped my music and it just shaped the lane that I wanted to take. And me and my team just we nailed it. We talked about it and they helped me a lot as well. So I love that I'm in a place where I am now.
See, I like that. See, you so used to this. You're natural. I don't know how many you've done in your life with this, but it's like these questions come so natural to you with answering them. Thinking on your
One
feet. I'm gonna
one fun fact.
I'm gonna get a question on you. I'm working. I'm trying to get one where you be like, oh, that's a good question.
One fun fact about me is when I was younger, I also went to acting school. So I have tons of like improvising classes under my belt. So it's like I'm always ready and I always have energy. Like energy is like that's just me. Like I wake up in the morning, go to gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I always have energy. I'm always up and ready to go.
Wow. That's the other part of life. Like that's the other part of being involved in what your end goal is. Um, so
Mhm,
we learning so much about you that even that's not even coming from questions. It's coming from the segues from the question that you're just building around. So you work out 6 in the morning. Hmm.
mhm.
First of all, let me just congratulate you on that. You know,
Thank
working
you.
out is
Thank
cool,
you.
but to commit to the 6 in the morning, that's the part, right? But that's
Tough.
consistency. So just knowing
Mhm,
that aspect and that characteristic of you, we know that you got a long history, you got a long journey ahead of you, because every moment you are motivated to continue. So here we are. We're in change now. We talked about how you
mhm,
change the community by being a therapist. Now let's talk about
mhm,
change itself, the song, the single.
mhm,
So that segues into your activism. I seen the video and I know what's going on with the world when you made this song and all that good
mhm.
jazz. But I would like for you to give us the interpretation of change, the video, and like why was that a song you chose? I mean, I can understand it, but I would like to just hear your take, your creation behind it and inspirations.
So change, change kind of we talked about writing a song because the Black Lives movement was um sprouting and after what happened to George Floyd, I was like, all right, this is definitely a song we need to write and we're gonna tribute him in the video. And aside from that, there was tons of things that happened. There was a march in Boston and we recorded it and we was there. I was leading the march, which is actually the most awesome part. Like if you've never been to a march, I say you go because the energy is amazing. I'm like naturally loud, so I was screaming, and it's in the video. You can see it at the end of the video. You see me in the march, and I'm leading. I'm like, hands up, don't shoot. I was screaming, and people was following, and it was like it was an amazing place to be. But that's kind of what sparked change. Everything that was happening in the world and how we just needed the world. We need the world to change. We need to see that racism is something that we need to overcome. And even after all these years, we still haven't really overcome it. So we got to just keep pushing.
Yes, yes. And I'm happy that you're taking that initiative to do it. Um, I'm pretty sure you've come across the times where it's hard to break in the industry when you come out positive, when you choose not to do the oversaturated, uncensored, urban trap BS. Sorry to say it that way, but knowing that that is a challenge, it is harder for you to break in to the industry the way that others might have. How do you how do you take that pressure or um what what are you going to continue to do with this change
Mhm.
to put a stamp on you?
Well, the one thing I could, the one reason I still do positive music and I love doing positive music is because a lot of the music now is trap music. A lot of people are doing the same things. So I'm trying to build my own lane, and it's going to be through positive rap music, and it's going to be laying out messages. People always say, um, the rap music is just party music. There's no message. I'm coming with a hard message, and then as well still have the party music on the side because music needs it. There's no way you can't have party music. So that's kind of why I stay positive. And also it's just a marketer's dream, a positive song, because you could play it anywhere. You could play it on the radio. You could play it in a restaurant. You could it's if it goes wild and it goes viral, you could play it anywhere. So it's like, okay, it's very positive, but you can make a lot of money off of it. And that's where we want to hit.
I like that. I like that. And the thing too is you can make a lot of money off of positive music that doesn't sell your soul in the end, you know? So
Hmm.
I'm happy that you are an advocate for that as well. You know, you fight for Black Lives Matter, you fight for equality, you fight for less brutality, you fight for activism in every aspect. For the change of the industry, for the change of the perception of a black man in the industry. You know,
Hmm.
so I just wanted to talk about that in this interview. I know probably like, oh, why are we talking? Why are we talking about that? Because it
Hmm.
all goes around change, which is your new
Hmm.
single, and then following up with I'm different because you are different.
Thank
uh
you.
Very different from your
Yeah.
background. Like I didn't know you went to acting school. So I didn't know you even. No wonder you so natural with this. I'm like, I ain't even gotta try hard. You already bringing the industry energy. I can't even get out. You already bringing the energy.
Yeah.
Now I know why.
Yeah, 100%.
Got that built-in naturalness. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's hard to change. Like who produced it? How long did it take you to write it? That's some good juicy stuff.
See, now to write change, it 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 came out so quick. The first two verses was about what was going on in society, and the last verse is about what we need to change because as in our communities there's still black on black violence and there's still things like that. So I even pointed that out, like we need to stop being so violent toward each other and we need to unite. So that message, just that song almost wrote itself. And don't quite remember the producer of the beat. It may, I don't want to get it wrong, so I don't even want to say who it may be. But
Gotcha.
so
Burn up, burn
yeah,
up.
yeah. But yeah, it came around. It came around really well. That song literally wrote itself. Maybe like a couple days, because every time I record a song, I have a studio in my house. So I write it, record it, and I listen to it, and I listen to the spots that I do not like, and I try to change it the best I can. Sometimes I just can't change it, and I let it rock. But usually writing a song takes a couple days because I want to literally record it and then hear how it sounds before
Bring it
we
back.
bring it to a studio and get it mixed.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Thank you for breaking that down. That's the fun part too, because it's like we hear the songs, we like the songs, but we don't know the backstory. Like I want to know the whole experience of the creation that it takes for mad scientists like you to make music, you know? Um,
Oh man,
and then you're so
if you
natural with
come to
it.
the studio, if you
Come to
come
the
to the
studio.
studio, there's probably like 8 to 10 versions that we just sit down and listen to. Like, I like this one, but the other one's really nice. I really like this one. And then there's somebody's over there like, I like the other one. I'm like, dang. So we sit there for so long because there's so many versions of the song. You're like, okay, this one sped up, this one slowed down, this one we have like different ad libs placed in, and that's where it's so fun. Like that's where like you just put in the puzzle of the song together, and it's so fun. So
See
yeah,
how you
it's lit.
so if you could work with anybody on a remix of that song, who would it be?
Oh man, it would have to be somebody who kind of like speaks. I don't want to say speaks for the streets, but like an activist kind of. I would like. It would be awesome if it's like a Jay-Z or a J. Cole, somebody who talks about like things that's similar to that in their music, like talks about change in their music. That would be something. That would be a person that we would kind of aim for.
That's dope. That's dope. I wanted to know. I was like, oh, I could hear it. I could hear J. Cole. I could hear the Kendrick too.
Kendrick would kill it.
I could hear what's her name? It's a female. Rock, not Rakim. Not Rakim. That's a male. What is her name?
Oh,
The female rapper that
with the Fijis.
no, not Lauryn Hill. It's another one. She just started getting her credit. Starts with an R. I can't even get her name, and I don't want to get it wrong. I already messed up once, but
I feel
very
that.
positive, and she doesn't do what all the other female rappers do.
Hmm.
Oh, I wish I could get her name. It's like at the tip of my tongue. But either way, I can hear her on it too because she's positive and she's from a female aspect.
And I was about to say that that would be incredible to have the females version because that's something that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty smart and interesting.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know that. So as we segue, you got two singles you're bringing to the Hot Zone today. We
Mhm.
want to give both a chance to shine and talk, talk into it. So I'm gonna segue and talk into your next single. Talk about your next single called "I'm Different." I'm different. Well, not that song, y'all, but I just wanted to vibe to it. So, I'm different. It's got a dope feature, and we're gonna talk about him as well. But we also want to talk like when you select your beats and you select your next single, how do you
Mhm.
go about it? Like, what's the selection process like?
Oh man, that's probably the hardest part of the whole writing process because like you know how I said change wrote itself. A lot of beats kind of like speak to me, so like sometimes I'll be just sitting there and I'll hear a beat going and I'll just hear words in the beat, and that's exactly what happened with Different. Like you just hear like, oh, that goes there, like it just goes there. So different kinds of the chorus, you see everyone but me, I'm different, that it kind of wrote itself. And I when I first I sing a lot more now on tracks than I did when I first started rapping because I was kind of I don't want to say shy. I was just too much of a perfectionist to be like I don't want to not like it.
Right.
So that was back in that time, and he was like, "I'll sing on it." He was actually like, "You know what this needs? I got you." And then he just went in there and he sung it, and I was like, it needed that. That's exactly what it needed. And then I sung it behind them because I don't know, just because we was just playing with I was trying to build my confidence with singing. So I sung behind him and it was perfect. And then the verses was just me explaining how I'm different. And it's like I don't like jewelry. And that's one thing that's definitely different with about me and other rappers. Like a lot of rappers like jewelry. I don't know what I just don't like jewelry. I like earrings, maybe a watch. Like I don't know. I talk about how I'm gonna be positive and just different things like that. How I grew up. I'm trying to get my family out of the places they are. Just just different things like that.
You
And it's
different, man. You different. So as we talk about the hook and how it added different substance to your song, let's introduce him. Let's talk about him, like how y'all connected. Chief Reed is Chief Reed, right? Chief
yeah.
Reed. Chief Reed.
Hmm.
Reed. I can never say it right, y'all. I want to
Hey.
make sure I pronounce it. Thing about me is I'm from the South, Midwest-ish. And
Hmm.
our pronunciations could be off. So I always like to say it double time and make sure I say it right. So Chief Reed is the one that is the man behind this creative hook. When I heard the hook, I was like, it kind of gives it that suspense and that
Hmm.
twirl.
Hmm.
And I can hear, I surely hear the substance that added to the song and the beat. It's like those words were in the beat and he just brought it to the surface. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it's
Right.
like
So I love vocalists. You gotta.
it's
I
like
love
something
vocalists.
Eminem could do. Like it's something that
Mhm.
some crazy but clever stuff,
Mhm.
like cleverness content that goes with this. Like I don't even know how to describe it because I'm speechless. Because when I hear it again and again, I'm like, wow, it hit me here. It didn't hear me here the first time. Now it's hitting me here. So it's a dope masterpiece as how you trusted different sounds to combine together, if that's
Thank you.
cool to say. So definitely talk about how y'all like how y'all even know each other. Like how did I know he said you came to the studio or whatever, but
Yeah.
how did you put that
So
together?
my father, manager, he kind of like he knew him from a while ago. So he does a lot of clothing designs, and when I do my videos, I tend to love to use like up and coming clothing designers that's not really famous. Like I don't use like Nike in my videos yet. I'm like,
That's
but
sponsorship. That's sponsorship.
but I like to just people who's up and coming. I love to get their brand out there as well. So he also creates clothing, and I like his clothes. He has great clothes, and that's how we met, just through the clothing reason. And my father kind of was like, "Oh, he's an artist." I was like, "Oh, wow." He came to the studio, and he's been in the studio for a while. And the studio that I was going to, he was cool with the people there as well. So it was just all the perfect like remedy that brought him to that studio, and he sung it. And that was the first day I met him, and like we just clicked. Like
That's
the vibe was just there. We just clicked, and I just let him have freedom, and no, go ahead, go sing it, sing over me, yeah, because I wasn't too confident. Go ahead, go do your thing, and he went and he killed it, and I was like, bet, and we kept it like that.
that is so cool. That's reassuring to hear. So definitely shout out to Chief Reed,
Mm-hmm.
Chef Reed. I said Chief, Chef Reed, for his contribution to I'm Different. Like it's just stuck
Yeah.
in my head like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
always
yeah.
know that the first 30 seconds of a song determines if it's a hit to some people, right? The beat has to be on point. The hook, the lyrics, the everything comes into part, has to play part. And this song it did. So Delk record, congratulations on that. But before we get out of here and all that good jazz, I would love for you to talk about where do you see yourself? I know it's hard to say 5 years because did not see this pandemic coming.
Yeah,
So where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years now that you got a new deal and like all that? Like, where do you see yourself?
yeah. So even before, I'm thinking about so much closer than that. So in the next 5 years, hopefully, I already have done tons of tours because with Concord Entertainment, we're talking about doing a tour. We're already talking about doing a tour with Live Nation and AEG Live. But we're like hoping that the world opens up around like the fall, because then we can start touring, and then once we can start touring, that's when we can really bring the songs to life and everybody can hear it and they can just enjoy the vibe with us, because it's just a ton of energy being thrown at them and a great message. So in the next 5 years, hopefully I'm still touring, because I love the performance aspect. I love being on stage and connecting with the audience. I love everything about it, because I just love being energetic. That's just that's
It
probably
comes off.
most of
It comes off.
it.
Like I can tell, and it's so natural. Like you can tell when people are trying to force that, but you're not. Like even
Yeah,
like
this is
from the
me.
very first time I met you, we hit it off, and actually you expanded me. So I want to give gratitude and appreciation to you for that because energies are very strong, and a lot of people don't understand how they can be toxic or they can be a benefit.
Mhm.
And you brought a benefit to me even then. So when I didn't even know your pops was the one I've been talking to, but either way, um
Yeah,
thankful him for even giving me the opportunity to interview you, to talk to you, to be a part of where you're trying to be and the change that you're trying to deliver, the change that you are delivering.
sure.
Trying is not the word. You are delivering change and positivity. So thank you for doing that on an ultimate high
Sure.
level. I could probably say that a million times to you, but I just want to show by action and try to take part. um but before we get out of here, is there any special words you want to say? I know you still got to do your social media, where to find the music, all that good jazz. But is anything off that, outside of that, that you would like to say?
We can end it with the thing that we started it with. Everybody, I hope you guys just keep pushing. There's a lot going on in the world, but keep pushing. Like everything's tough right now, so this is the time where you would need to be your strongest and make it through what you need to go through, and that's where my music can help.
So where to find your music?
You can find my music literally everywhere. Apple Music. You can find it on Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, like anywhere. And it's just BT the artist.
BT, the artist, y'all. BT.
Change different
Different.
everything.
Everything. Everything he got popping up. His videos, you can Google him as well. I know people don't like saying Google me because it just sounds like, oh, you're so big. But he got his stuff together. You put BT the artist in Google, everything just flows right down. So definitely let everybody know how they can find you. Any special shout outs, anything like that.
BT the artist everywhere. You can Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, everywhere. Shout outs to my team. They're the ones who keep me pushing everywhere and every day. And every day they hit in my phones asking me if I have something new, what am I working on? So shout out to them. And I just hope that we stay a family throughout this whole thing because we're gonna go big places.
I like that. I appreciate my opportunity as well. So once again, man, thank you for choosing the Hot Zone, in the Hot Zone, to give your new scoops, your new singles, your new updates. I'm grateful. I'm International Most P, and you know we rock with BT the artist from Boston. I can you say Boston?
Boston.
Okay, he don't say it like I'm used to seeing on TV. I don't know, but
Boston. Listen, nobody like that. If nobody in Boston talks like that, that's the weird thing. That's one fun fact. It's like maybe South Boston, but like it's the surrounding cities. Nobody in Boston's like, give me the car keys. We're gonna go down to the corner. Like you won't really hear somebody in Boston speak like that. It's weird, but hey, it's a Boston accent.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that fun fact. I always try to get something fun about somebody in the world or where they at. Yeah. So thank you so much. But everybody here on the Hot Zone, I want you guys to take some time out. Go rock with BT the artist. Download his new singles. Stream his new singles. Change and I'm Different featuring Chef Reed. I almost messed up and called him cheap again. Chef Reed. Do not hesitate, you guys. You can be a part of the change by supporting change. So with that being said, this is the Hot Zone. You're rocking with DJ Most Precious, International Most P, and BT, the artist. Yeah. I like that jersey on the back, though. Like that jersey on the wall, number 77. I see you. I see you. But yeah, next time here on the Hot Zone, y'all. Take care. Be safe. Mask up.
My skin's a bit thicker, my heart's inhumane. Do nothing but train. Tell my lyrics is plain like this is a game. Don't care about fame, just want my car to make a foreign exchange. Wanna take my fame up out of the pain. About the apartments, the buses and trains. I don't need jewelry, diamonds ain't cool to me. Saving that money, send fame off the school for free. Tell me your vision, I'll pay the tuition. If I'm making millions, I promise you're chilling. Give back my taxes, they gonna amend it. Some of these rappers just bark kinda kiddish. They quick to buy chains and get robbed even quicker. I